It looks so beautiful. Um, Hi. How is anybody here yet? Oh, there's three people here. I didn't realize I was live. I was messing with my hairs. Sorry about that. Well, happy belated New Year, everyone. I guess it's the second Thursday in January. Best- Oh, there's a question I needed to answer. Close. Oh, thank you that I look beautiful. I got a new haircut and I'm gonna take my glasses off. I I took a picture and said I'd like my haircut this way. So that's what I did. And um and how does this look in the light of eternity? Ah, Margaret, you have you know Latin. Good for you. Um I am making this video, this live stream monetized. I put it on low ads, so I'm kind of curious to see how many ads pop up. I don't think I can see them, but maybe you guys can see them. So if there's a lot, I won't do it again, but I was just kind of curious to see how it looked. And let's see here. Um, there's four people here already. I didn't have a whole lot to mention today. Let me adjust my light here real quick. Does that look better? It looks a little bit better. Um, oh, I came up with a quote that you liked. And one of my favorite quotes is the golden rule to treat others like you treat others how you wish to be treated. I'm terrible at quotes, so that's why I don't say a whole lot. So I didn't know if any of you have any quotes. Oh, that was your verse. Gotcha. I got it. You're on you're on it, and I'm not so much. I'm trying to find the the camera here, and I look like I'm looking down all the time, but um, I see the light on my computer. I have a favorite verse that I kind of like too, and it's from Psalm 50, I think. We always sang in church. I didn't realize it was a psalm till I grew up, but it's create in me a clean o heart. Create in me a clean heart, O God. I'm trying to say it without singing it. This is awful. It starts with creating me a clean heart, O God, and renew our. It's asking Jesus to forgive us for our sins. Hi, AJ. How are you tonight? I saw you last night on another video. It was I'm terrible with names. Her name is Rhonda, but that's not her name. Is it in treaty with Rhonda? I'm terrible. But we were both on at the same time last night. So that was kind of an interesting chat that we had. And it is warm here in Indiana today. Last I looked, it was about 55. And I think we're supposed to get thunderstorms tonight. And there's always warnings, weather warnings. And we could have wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour, blah, blah, blah. AJ, my quote is a joyful heart does good like a medicine. That's another good one from Proverbs 17:22. I I'm when I hear a verse, I can if someone starts it, I can usually end it. I can't usually recite the whole thing. I remember when I was a young adult when the NIV version of the Bible came out and it changed like the 23rd Psalm. We all grew up on the King James version, and they're going, "Oh, they ruined all the Psalms." But now we're pretty much used to the 20th century verses. So, anyway, so are you guys enjoying warm weather today? And then it's supposed to get cold this weekend. This weather has been crazy here in Indiana. It goes from 60s to the 20s, and then a few days later, it's back up to the 60s. And on Facebook today, we have a couple hospitals in our town, and one is restricting visitors because the flu's really bad right now. So I was not aware of that. And that's one perk of being retired is I stay home a lot. And AJ, it's 36 where you are. Oh, my soup turned out really good. I bought a bay leaf. I haven't bought bay leaves in a really long time, probably 10, 15 years. So I put it in the soup and it was really good. I think it made it taste better. And it's Marguerite, it's 45 in northern Michigan. I was watching the news the other day. Do you have a lot of snow where you are? It seemed like some parts of northern Michigan had a ton of snow and others not so much. And where I live in Indiana, I guess we've had the driest year since they started keeping records in 1897. So we really need some rain. I hope we get a little more next or in 2026 than we did last year. Marguerite said they got a lot, but it's melting. We had a family cabin in Cummins, Michigan, which was in Oscoda County, kind of near Mayo. You probably have heard of Mayo. And I guess some winters they hardly got any snow at all. And then other years they got quite a bit. So you just never know, even in Michigan. So, do either of you have New Year's resolutions? I don't really have any, but I was kind of thinking, um, I turned 70 last year, and I decided I need to sit down and write down all my utility bills and everything. So whenever I die, which we're all gonna do it sooner or later. So and I pay everything online. So I thought I really need to sit down and write out all my accounts and passwords and get all that typed up for my kids. So that is something I'm going to work on the rest of the month. It's just to get that in order. Marguerite got all new weather tires. You know what? That's a good thing for me to look at. I bought my car a year ago and I have no idea. It's a used car. It's a 2018 Alero. That was my old car. 2018 Corolla. And I should probably check the tires. They look pretty new when I bought it. And Marguerite, let's see, AJ wants to be healthier. Well, if you're eating homemade oatmeal cookies, those are healthy, right? Did you bake them yourself? I made what did I make recently? Oh, I made a kind of a it was apple and cranberry. It had oatmeal in it. I forget what they called. Well, actually, this recipe has a crust that's made with oatmeal. Oh, good, AJ. You gave your family a list of all your bank accounts. I have some things set up. I have looks like I got something on my lip. I don't know what it is. I guess it'll just have to stay there. Um, so my daughter, whenever I die, it's called a POD, payable on death or something. She can get into my bank account then. Oh, Marguerite's the one that made the oatmeal cookies. She got a new mixer. Yay! I used to bake a lot and I live alone now, so and I don't need the extra calories, so I don't bake a whole lot anymore. But I used to love baking. Yeah, Michigan, you do need better tires. They used to have winter tires back in the day. I don't know if they still have those or not. Hey, Marguerite, you got a KitchenAid? Oh, that reminds me, my daughter, she found these little feet. I don't know what else you call them. You put them on the bottom of your KitchenAid, and it slides a whole lot easier on your counter, and I love it. Yeah, KitchenAids, they're the best. They last forever, I think. Ooh, a pistachio color. I bet that is pretty. Do you like green, Marguerite? Is that your favorite color? Mine is classic white. So there's a couple other people here. I see there's 6 people, so come on board and say hi. We'd like to see who's here. Marguerite, oh, I can't. She got Nokian Remedy tires. Wow. They sound cool. Do you have a Toyota? It sounds like a Japanese brand name. So Marguerite likes pink and green. I'm kind of a blue person. I've been thinking, oh, you have a Honda. I painted my house when I moved in here. Well, I lived here a couple years after, and then I painted it, but my walls are pretty bland, off-white. Nokian are very good tires. I'll have to remember that. Um, I had good tires on my last car, but I need to get out. The car that I got, the it was a one owner person and he kept immaculate records. Yeah, Marguerite, there are things that you really do need to buy quality and good tires and a good battery for your car. That is so important. Um, some things I don't care what brand the sugar is. I'll buy the cheapest bag of sugar or flour, but when it comes to appliances and things you depend upon, I really do try to buy the best. That's good advice. Oh, I read a really good book this week, and the author's name is Rob Parsons, and I found out later he he's written a lot of books, but he lives in Wales. It was a true story, and it's called A Knock at the Door. And when he was a child, he had a classmate named Ronnie, and Ronnie lived in a group home and he was developmentally delayed. So about 20 years, oh, they were in their mid-20s. On Christmas Eve in 1995, there was a knock at the door, and here's Ronnie. He's homeless. and he brought a frozen chicken for them to eat together. And Rob was already married, so they invited him in, and he ended up living with them for 45 years. And it is the coolest story. I haven't read such a good book in a very long time, and it's called A Knock at the Door. And I guess, well, Rob Parsons is a Christian, and I found out he's quite a speaker, and he's been on a lot of YouTube shows. That's kind of how I found him. But so if you want to read a good book, A Knock at the Door is really good. And I got it at the library, so I didn't pay anything for it. Marguerite, oh, we're talking about vacuum cleaners. Dysons are supposed to be good. What's mine? I don't know what. I bought mine at Kohl's. It works. So, funny story. Well, it's kind of sad, really, but I bought it, the vacuum cleaner, and then I broke my right foot, and I obviously couldn't vacuum for a while. So when I when my foot was all better, I had to kind of relearn how to use the vacuum cleaner. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. I'm sorry. I haven't talked all day, so my throat's a little dry. So yeah, we're talking about vacuum cleaners and KitchenAid mixers. We're an exciting group. Oh, um, actually, I got it on Hoopla. Do you have Hoopla through your library? They're Hoopla, Hoopla, and you can rent ebooks and audiobooks. And my library, you can get the Hallmark channel for free, so I use that a lot. But yeah, if you can find it, it's a good book. My Kentucky Home by Debbie. She ordered the book too. She's the one I found out about the book, and I got it at the library. But I think the book came out last March, so it's a fairly new book. Okay, you have Hoopla up in Michigan, so maybe you can find it on there. I don't know how libraries work. Well, I kind of do and don't. I know where I live, sometimes you can request books from other libraries. I don't know if you can do that with ebooks or not, but that's something you could look into. And I I'm gonna try and read more books this year. I'm kind of picky about what I read. I don't want to read a soft Hallmark kind of romance. I kind of like Christian fiction or historical fiction, and I like biographies too. So I do enjoy reading. It's a good thing to do in the wintertime. And I got a flyer from our local college in the mail yesterday, and they have some gardening classes. I'm debating taking a class or two. Okay, Marguerite says she's gotten books through. I took my glasses off. I can almost read, but not quite. Melcat. I've never heard of Melcat if your library doesn't have them. So I'm debating kind of taking a couple classes at my local college, and then there was a class on podcasting and blogs. I may or may not take that. Marguerite's reading Venetian Vespers, and she had to wait a month for that. And AJ was reading What Happened to the McCrays. I had to put my glasses back on. I'll just leave them on. What happened to the McCrays but lost interest? I've heard of the McCoys. One autobiography I enjoyed reading was Oh, the name escapes me. The guy, Alex Trebek with Jeopardy. I really liked his story. He read his own story. He was Canadian. I guess I didn't realize that. And him and his wife gave a lot to charity. That was an interesting book to read. And then the McCraes, are they a famous group of people? I'll have to look it up. So do you have any winter hobbies? I've been working on a 1,000-piece puzzle and I've got enough pieces out there that I think I have them all, and I'm missing an edge piece on the bottom, and I kind of started looking around to see if I dropped it on the floor, and then I lifted up the puzzle, and here I bought a used puzzle a couple years ago. So maybe it really was missing a piece when I bought it. So I'm not going to look too hard for it. And I talked about it on my channel the other day. I had a bit of an epiphany. I was thinking when I work on jigsaw puzzles, I kind of ponder all the deep thoughts we think about in life. So I thought, oh, that might be a good analogy. So Marguerite, um, the book reviews, is that from your Venetian Vespers, or were you talking about A.J. Wells' book? Venetian Vespers, it almost sounds like a monastery or something. I could be way off. Speaking of monasteries, this just popped in my mind, Marguerite. I grew up near Detroit, and I remember we went to a monastery when I was in high school. It was part of our catechism, and I can't remember the name of the monastery. So it had to have been around maybe between Pontiac and Detroit. So do you know of any monasteries in Michigan? And you were talking about Venetian Vespers. And I grew up Lutheran, but I think the monastery was Catholic, if I remember right. It was a pretty cool old building, but I'd like to research it a little bit, see if it's still there. I'll have to look at the Venetian Vespers. Henry James is the author. Oh, there's a monastery in Traverse City. I haven't been to Traverse City in a while. That's such a pretty place. Um, Maybe I'll get up to Michigan this year. I'm getting old. My left knee does not like me anymore. I've been trying to, some days it aches pretty bad and some days not so much. And I probably should go to the doctor, but I hate going to the doctors. So they say if you go to a surgeon, they'll do surgery, but I'm not sure that it needs surgery. It just aches a lot. Oh, the author is John Banville, but he writes like Henry James. Okay. Venetian Vespers. I'll remember. It kind of reminds me of Venetian blinds, so I'll remember the Venetian blinds. So that's how I remember things. If it kind of rhymes with something, um, then I remember it better. When I look out I can see the light things. I'm gonna take my glasses off. So I guess January is a slow month, isn't it? Um, Other than doing a jigsaw puzzle and reading a book, I'm not doing a whole lot this month. Oh, AJ, the Venetian Hotel in Las Vegas. Have you been out there, AJ? I haven't I haven't been to very many places. Before I logged on tonight, there's oh gosh, I forget the name of their video. It's a father and son that take trips together around the United States, and they have a 2-hour clip of the Lincoln Highway. And so it starts in New York City. I guess the video's like 2 hours long, but they're going to go from New York City to Nebraska, and then part two, they'll do on another video. Let me see if I can find it on my cell phone here. I enjoy watching them. Do, do, do. What would we do without our cell phones? Oops. If I go here. Through my lens. I really enjoy their trips through my lens. So I don't know the guy's name, but he calls his dad Pops, and they've toured quite a bit of the United States, and I love their trips. And Pops seems to love donuts, so every place they go, they have to check out a donut restaurant or donut bakery. Marguerite says um, her and her mom used to go to travelogues when she was little. Oh, you took your cat to the vet today? Is he okay, Marguerite? We didn't travel when I was growing up either. We did travel once. My mom was born in England, and we went to England when I was 9 years old. We spent a summer there, and my dad, he saved up for 5 years so we could go. And then we were there, I don't know, 8 or 9 weeks. So dad saved up 2 years vacation. So it was like 5 or 6 weeks. And then he was able to do a couple business trips in Europe while we were there. And Marguerite says her cat is perfect. See, I went to England when I was 9 years old. I was 1965. And I remember the butcher shops, they would hang chickens in the front window, and the chickens had their feet and everything on them. Just thought, are we living in old times here? I'm sure England doesn't have the chickens hanging by their feet anymore. And I guess it's Tesco's is a pretty big store. I know, Margaret. Ew. But when I was 9, that was just kind of, oh, that's kind of interesting. And then they had their sweet shops, sweets or candies, so I enjoyed that. But I remember we went to a zoo, Chester Zoo. My mom grew up in Liverpool. In Chester Zoo, I kind of remember it, and it had beautiful flower gardens, and I was more interested in the animals. And now I would probably be way more interested in the gardens than the animals. Oh, Marguerite, you're a vegetarian. Yeah, I'm kinda I could give up meat more than I could give up veggies. Um, and when you read about all the crap they put in the animals that we eat from the store, it makes you wonder if you really should eat them. So, how long have you been a vegetarian, Marguerite? And if you're a vegetarian, Do you eat dairy products too? I guess I get 'em mixed up. I think vegans don't eat eggs or dairy, but maybe vegetarians do. Oh, so you've been a vegetarian for a really long time. You would have liked my 15 bean soup I made the other day then. It was pretty good. Okay. Yeah, I couldn't live without eggs and cheese. I have an egg for breakfast every morning. Yeah, cheese doesn't like me. I push the limits, but I do eat some every day. I'm watching another YouTube channel and they've gone carnivore, and I don't think I could do carnivore at all. Oh, so there was an ad. Oh, I think I mentioned I was talking about eating an egg for breakfast every day. And is that the first ad you've seen, Marguerite? If there's a lot of them, I'm not gonna do it again. I was just curious to see what would happen when you monetize when you're monetized, you can do a lot of ads, medium ads or low ads, and they only do that for I guess for lives, and then if your videos are over 20 minutes. Oh, that was the second one. If the videos are over 20 minutes, you can put a mid-roll. Do the ads bother you? If they do, I won't do it again. I was just curious to see what would happen. Yeah, I kind of agree. I'll take it off for next time. I get frustrated. Some YouTube channels, it seems like there's more ads than the actual channel. You just get into the storyline and they cut to a new ad. I'm like, so I hope mine aren't that bad. Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, lives cut up, but the pre-recorded videos don't. And I've seen some recently where you can see the audio while the ad's rolling, but you can't hear what they're saying, which I don't know, that's kind of silly. And then today I watch like when Carolyn Levitt, I think that's how you pronounce her last name, when she does her updates from the White House, they always cut into her ad and into hers too, which I don't like. I don't like missing out what they say. Yeah, AJ, I like her too, and I guess she's having a baby, and a little girl. They announced it, um, must have been right after January 1st, so I'm kind of excited for her. So she has a little boy. I don't even know if he's 1 yet, but it's kind of exciting. Yeah, she is very professional, and when I listen to her talk, she just rambles stuff right off. I don't know how she does it. The White House channel doesn't have ads. And sometimes when I think about it, I'll watch C-SPAN. If there's like the State of the Union address, I'll watch C-SPAN. Speaking of State of the Union, I wonder if Trump's going to do one this year. I always watch the State of the Union. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to get too political. It doesn't matter, but it seems like it's always the same promises, different face. It never changes. But as far as the news, I really struggle because I don't want to. I don't want to know all the garbage, but I want to know what's going on. So you watch the White House directly. Okay. I forgot about that. I think I watch AP, Associated Press. And like today, well, JD Vance spoke for a while, and they're supposed to come on at 1, and it's like, what, 1:30 before they actually come on live. And I'm off doing other things, and they're like, "Oh, I hear voices," so I guess they're on. But yeah, I'm concerned about our country right now, and um I hope things get better. I really do. So enough of politics. I kind of miss being outside. I've been watching a lot of YouTube. In fact, this afternoon I was watching a video about, do bees and wasps have brains? And they were trying to they were like, they take the bees, a couple miles away from their beehive to see if they could find their way home, and they could find their way home. And then the wasps have different faces, and they have face recognition. And I don't know, I just kind of like watching that kind of stuff. But it was kind of interesting. They decided that even though bees and wasps have really tiny, tiny brains, they are able to reason and think, to some degree. Marguerite, I'm glad you're more encouraged than you've been in ages. That's good to hear from somebody. We shall see what happens. I'm always hopeful. I truly am. I try to see the world with a glass half full rather than half empty. Yes, AJ, wasps. I run when I see a wasp. Now honeybees, yeah, I have a little garden, and if they're getting pollen from the flowers, I just let them do their thing. But if it's a wasp, I walk quickly away. I've been trying to plant more native pollinators in my yard, because bees bees are going down in number, and if we don't have bees, we'll die, because the bees pollinate all the crops and everything. So my little postage size stamp of the world in my little yard, I try to plant plant flowers that the bees like. Doing my part. Now, AJ, do you have a home, or do you live in an apartment? I have a I have a small house. Well, I guess it's a nice size house. And I'm on about 2/10 of an acre, which is big enough for me. Oh my gosh. So you have a house too, Marguerite? She went to get her camera because she saw a bee on the flower, and when she came back, she saw a fox. And AG has a home. My home's a little bit larger than yours, and I've lived here for, well, it'll be 31 years in May. And I was scared to death by this house. I was fairly newly divorced, and I I had never mowed a yard before. My ex-husband did all that. So I did figure out how to use a lawnmower though. And I'm so glad. It's one of the best things I ever did. Okay, I thought you lived in an apartment now. She sold her house in 2018. Yeah, AJ, I agree. Being a homeowner is a really cool thing to have. Do you miss do you miss owning a house, Marguerite? I've always kind of thought, depending how long I live. Um, I was thinking maybe mid-80s, I would probably sell my home and move into, like, a retirement community, but I'm not there yet. If I ever move, I'd have to move place where I could go out, open up the patio door and have my own little space. Oh, you lived on top of a hill and don't miss the upkeep. Oh, I bet. Um, yeah, there's a lot to owning a home. In fact, I've been kind of doing some brainstorming here. My house, I have the original furnace and windows and carpet. So I've been thinking I need to start saving up to do some repairs or replace. Oh, there you go. Marguerite has a balcony, and her and her car spent hours out in the warm weather. Well, there you go. In fact, there's some my cat, not my car. Oh, gotcha. Oh, I thought you meant you took road trips. AJ, I think I will go with hard flooring. I have allergies and I guess carpet's not good for allergies. But I've kind of debated keeping the bedrooms carpeted. I don't know. I'll decide that when I get to that point. But my kitchen floor is linoleum and it looks awful. It, if you drop anything, it leaves a mark on the floor. So it looks like my floor is dirty. It's just dinged up and marked up. So, I mean, it just looks awful. Oh gosh. Well, if you don't like carpet, you do what you do. You do what you need to do for yourself. Oh, so your house had hardwood underneath, so that was a good thing to do then. Mine's probably concrete underneath. My house is on a slab. And then yeah, I know I'm gonna have to do some upkeep on my home. So I think I'm gonna be spending less and saving more. Oh, you have an older oh, your home was built in 1941, so it probably did have hardwood floors. They don't make homes like they used to. There's no character to homes these days. Mine's just a cookie cutter. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. Oh, a cute Cape Cod. How long did you live in that home? Oh, arched doorways. Kinda reminds me of the house I remember my grandma living in when I was really little. And then they built a house when I was 5. I remember that house a lot more than the first house. In this house, it was a brand new home. Um, they call them spec homes. They build them and then they sell them after they're built. So this house was all ready to go. The only thing that wasn't in was the dishwasher. Okay. You know what? I bet I didn't update the slow mode. I think the default is 60 seconds. And I thought I try to change it to 15, so maybe I ought to change it to 0 for the next one. Something else to remember. So AJ, you still work, don't you? What can I ask what you do for a living? Oh, so Marguerite, you were there quite a while then. Yeah, I am. When we were married, we lived in the one house for 9 years. And then when growing up, I lived in the same home for about 10 years. We moved around a little bit when I was little. Okay, so AJ works in the accounting department at a hospital. So you're an accounting geek. I worked in accounting too. When I was a senior in high school, we moved to Indiana, and the school I went to is a brand new school, and they didn't have a whole lot of classes because the population was so small. So I took bookkeeping when I was a senior, and I fell in love with it, and I decided I wanted to be an accountant when I grew up. And I love numbers too. I like numbers better than people. Isn't that awful? I didn't want to deal with people, so just give me a spreadsheet and a computer and I'm happy. Marguerite, you live in a condo. Okay, I knew you liked doing spreadsheets, but you were an English major. Did you teach with your English degree or did you do other things? I'm being nosy tonight. I worked in not not for profit and for profit accounting. So I had experience in both. Well, hi Mary, how are you? Good to see you. Your name is Mary, right, Leisure? I didn't bring out my notebook tonight. Okay, you are Mary. So this week has kind of been getting back to normal after the Christmas break. I know a lot of people said it was weird having Christmas on a Thursday. So you worked, maybe 2 days and then you took the rest of the week off and repeated it. Oh, Margaret, you were an operations manager in insurance agencies. Okay. So which career did you like better? I'm not sure I could do I'm not sure I could do data analyst. There's something about accounting that, it's done orderly in a month, and I just always liked it. Definitely not management. I was never in management. I managed myself and my two children, and that was all I wanted to manage. In fact, my last job, I worked part-time. I retired and didn't handle retirement very well, so I temped, and then I had this part-time job for a couple years, and they fired my boss, and I had the opportunity to take her job, and I said, "No." I'm glad I didn't. Things got bad, after I left. So I don't miss working, that's for sure. Yes, teaching is tough. I've done a little bit of teaching and training, and it's not my bag. In fact, when I retired, I gave them 6 months notice, and I said, I would train a new accountant before I left if they hired one in time. So my last work week, I spent 40 hours training my replacement. I think I inhaled at 8 a.m. Monday morning and exhaled at 5 p.m. Friday afternoon. It was awful. Hi, Evie. Evie. I always say your name wrong, Evie. How are you tonight? Evie's been doing some watercoloring and her stuff's really pretty cool. Have you done any watercolors today, Evie? I think the last one I saw, you did one of some trees. I thought it was pretty cool. Oh, you're crocheting. You have so many talents. And I've been watching Evie's Eden, and she also has a little Christian channel. I forget the name of it. And she posts on there too. What's the name of your other channel, Evie? But I enjoy watching yours. Yeah, Evie just started watercolor, and I thought watching you, it looks pretty easy. So I don't know if it is or not. I'm a lefty. I'm afraid my hand would rest right on what I just watercolored. So I would make an even bigger mess. Evie's Bible verses. Okay. And I enjoy watching those too. I started a Bible channel and I didn't do very much in it and I chickened out. um, I was debating doing a long Bible study and I was afraid I'd say the wrong thing, so I chickened out. And Evie does have many talents. Evie, do you know if they're gonna do a live tomorrow with Karen? I've been going to those. I forget Karen's, is it something about YouTubing for people over 40? Well, thanks for stopping by, Marguerite, and I hope you have a good week. And I'm glad your kitty had a good vet appointment and he is perfect. Okay. I usually go to your channel, Evie. Um, I know you better than the other gals, so I go onto your channel. Now, is that a collaboration? I know you usually have 4 or 5 people on the screen all at once. And if you're newer YouTube creator, that's kind of a good thing to go to on Fridays. You can go to Evie's channel or there's others. It's a panel and Karen is the host. My daughter's name is Karen. I think that's a good name. And she's not like the Karen characters we talk about. My daughter, well, I'm prejudiced, but she's a nice lady. She's, uh she's 51 now. I can't believe I have a child that old. I hope she's not watching. I don't think my kids watch my channel. Um, I've told them about it, but I doubt my son watches it. I've told my kids, it's for people who are in retirement, so that's my niche. So there's a couple other people online. I don't know who you are, but feel free to say hi and jump in. I unless anybody has anything to talk about, I'm probably gonna close shop here about 8 o'clock. So we've got about 5 minutes to go, and then we'll call it a night unless somebody has something really exciting they want to talk about. I've kind of run out of things to say. Maybe that's good. Oh no. Yeah, Mary, we were talking earlier. I I put on um to be monetized tonight. I don't usually do that. I was kind of curious to see how many ads showed up, and Marguerite just left, and two ads ran while she was online, and I guess you can't hear what I'm saying. It cuts me out. So I'm not gonna monetize it anymore. I monetize it at the lowest amount of videos, the least amount of ads. Mary might get snow. We're gonna get thunderstorms tonight. I live in Northeast Indiana, and we could get thunderstorms. Supposed to get up to 60 degrees overnight, and then by Sunday, the wind chill will be below zero. Isn't that crazy? We only have 5 likes. My little thing says there's 9 people here, so I'm not sure. There could be some incognitos. When you're monetized, you can see who your subscribers are. And there's one person named Mom. If you're out there, Mom, hi, Mom. My mom is still alive, and I don't know if it's her or not. So I have to be good now because my mom might be online. I try to be good anyways, but parents always find out whenever you get in trouble, right? Um, I don't have a whole lot else to say tonight. Oh, Mary's got lightning and a little thunder. Thunder snow? You don't hear that very often. This weather's crazy. Are you going to get a lot of snow afterwards, Mary? Um, oh, I kind of watch the national weather a little bit, and I guess there's a storm going to the northern parts of the country. I like to watch Ryan Hall, y'all. I enjoy watching him, and he does a little bit of storm chasing, and I think he lives in Kentucky. But he's got quite the setup. He must have an office. He has all these monitors, and he can keep track of all the what watches and warnings going on. I think being a weatherman, you can be wrong and still keep your job, right? So Mary says, Mary is leisure. Just a dusting. So we had some snow. We got about 6 or 7 inches of snow the beginning of December, and it melted. So we had a boring green Christmas. And then we had a little bit of snow after Christmas, but it's all melted too. It's all melted now. Um, with the snow, I have rabbits that live around my house. I haven't figured out where they have a nest, but I always see bunny tracks. Well, I'm going to call it a night, everybody. Yes, I had asked people about a motto, and AJ's reminding us that to remember his motto, which is a joyful heart does good like a medicine. Oh, Mary's hearing a big thunder. My motto was to treat others as you wish to be treated. And anyways, I'm going to call it a night, and I thank everybody for stopping by, and we'll see you next Thursday. Have a good rest of the week, everybody. Bye.